Alexander Sarr and Zachary Rasache are probably not going to be there at the fourth pick. So who do the Spurs fans want with the fourth and eighth pick? Well, Stefan Castle and Dejan Salaun. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. I recently did a poll on our channel, and the results, to say the least, were a bit surprising to me. Let's start off with the first one. The Spurs draft one of these guards. Which one do you want? And Stefan Castle, overwhelmingly, out of our 2,400 votes, won this poll. 50%. I thought it would be much, much closer between him and Rob Dillingham. But no, you guys have spoken, and you're saying Castle's the way to go. It rounds out with Topic and Shep, and I'd be remiss if I don't mention this now. Nikola Topic, potential top 5 prospect in this draft, has been diagnosed with a partially torn ACL in his left knee. Wow. I did see his agent told ESPN that Topic's draft stock is likely to not be significantly impacted. I think it will be. How much? I don't know. Could he fall out of the lottery? This is before the injury was announced, mind you. A lot of people voted. I mean, at one time, Topic is a player that Spurs fans wanted at 4. I don't want him at 8. I'm sorry, but 2 knee injuries in the same year, now a partially torn ACL, and you're going to have that community, the group that says, hey, this is great. Draft Topic at 8, send him on the bench for the year, kind of like Chet Holmgren. Tank again in 2025. It's a better draft class anyway, TSR. I get where you're coming from. Don't think I'm not. That being said, I've seen enough of Victor Wembanyama in 1 year with the Spurs, and tanking ain't going to be okay with him. All signs point to he wants to win. Every time they won, he celebrated. He went nuts. And when they were losing, he just literally oozed frustration, disappointment, maybe anger, whatever it was. It was just so visible on his face. When things were not going right for San Antonio, which was more often than not last season, he was not happy. Not to mention, at this point, Spurs fans, he's just too darn good. He played so well after the All-Star break, continued to get better and better and better. I think next season, this team will probably win anywhere from 35 to 41 games, and maybe more if we trade for a point guard, or if we draft a point guard and he just turns out to be an absolute stud in year 1. Listen, Spurs fans, I know you're excited about next year's draft. The tank is over with Wemby. It was a one-season thing. I fully believe it's done. We're looking at playing at least next year. Let's hope Atlanta gets number 1 pick overall, okay? Anyway, back to this. Personally, if the Spurs draft Castle or Dilly, I'm okay with it. I'm sorry, I'm done with Topic. Then I'm just done. I know you could also counter with TSR. He's young. Don't worry about it. We've got a player on our roster right now, Charles Bassey, who's had 2 season-ending knee injuries 2 years in a row. This type of stuff worries me. Devin Vassell has had 2 different, albeit not the same, season-ending injuries 2 years in a row. I just can't. No. So, hey, listen, if Castle drafted 4th, I'm all in. Maybe this poll's a little inaccurate. Maybe my girlfriend found a way to vote for Castle like 1,500 times. I don't know. It's certainly possible. She's a big UConn fan. But you guys want Castle? And look, I'm all in. Sure, why not? The other poll, and this is likely going to be our 8th pick overall, was for a forward wing, whatever you want to call it. And we had about 1,100 votes on that one. It's a close race. But I was very surprised to see a fellow Frenchman for Wemby, Dejan Salaun, coming out at top. Ron Holland right behind him at 30%. I thought Buzelis would be more in the running. He's back there at 25, and Cody Williams, apparently nobody wants him. I don't know if it's because I used a different PNG. That's what I found. But Salaun up there. If this draft happened, if the Spurs did take Castle and Salaun, or Castle and Holland, sure. Listen, whatever happens, happens. We talked last night and the night before about the Spurs maybe trading the 4th and 8th pick for the 1st overall pick. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think, my man the Dixon we mentioned, I think Atlanta's going to go partial rebuild, move on from DeJounte Murray, move on from Clint Capella, try to get some draft picks back through those trades, and draft Alexander Sarr. Probably Sarr. I don't see him taking Rasache. They have wings. I think they want a replacement if they're going to start since center. I don't think they're going for rebuild. I think they're going to keep Trae Young. As far as the Spurs, the 4th and 8th pick is still good. We're rolling the dice on two guys that could be legit helpful, maybe even immediately to this team. And I want to close out with this. Since we're here, I was a little surprised at this too. Now, granted, this poll is much younger, if you will, than the other two it just released this morning. But I asked y'all, who would you rather see win in the finals? The Mavericks or Celtics? And I figured the Celtics would be winning this poll. Not that there's Celtics fans on this channel or a lot of Spurs fans or Celtics fans per se, but I figured y'all be rooting for Derek White and rooting against the in-state rival in the Dallas Mavericks, a team that tends to whoop our butt 3 to 4 times every year. I was totally wrong. They got more than 2/3 of the vote. So maybe there's some Texas loyalty here I wasn't aware of. You're like, hey, you know what? The Spurs aren't in it. We'll vicariously live the Dallas Mavericks and hope a Texas team wins it that way. I know a few people have mentioned they're rooting against the Celtics because they have more I think they have 6 championships since, was it like 1990? We have 5, and so there were just one behind us, or one ahead of us. I don't know what the math is there, but this is surprising me. Y'all don't want to see Derek White get a ring? Nobody? Anybody? Derek White? And that's all I got here. I do want to ask you a question. For those of you that have talked about the audio on the channel, does the audio sound better? I have bought a sound box. I'm not sure what you call it. It's got sound absorbing styrofoam. I got my mic in it. I tested it out a little bit. I think it sounded better, but I think it's always better to ask a third party. Are you hearing less echo? Because that was driving me crazy. You guys are always generous by coming to the live streams and watching the videos and super chats, whatever it may be. I was like, let me put some money to the channel, try to make things sound better. The one thing that sucks is this box is actually quite huge. It's like a foot tall and a foot wide, so it's really, really big right here. And when I do the draft and things with Miss TSR, I guess you're just not going to be able to see. I mean, I'm just kidding. We'll figure out a way to move it and have everybody able to see what's going on. But I'm hoping the sound sounds better. Because the one thing that I hate to see on the channel is so many comments, man, this sounds really bad today. I don't take it personally. Please, you guys let me know that, but it disappoints me. Like, man, I really take pride in putting out hopefully good content for everybody to enjoy and have a discussion on. And if I'm sounding all like McDonald's drive-thru, then that's not good for anybody. Anyway, please let me know in the comments down below if the mic sounds better. Also, let me know if the Spurs drafted Castle and Salaun. Are you like, perfect, I'm in, I'm good, I'm happy, let's roll it and see what happens? Hit the thumbs up, like, support the channel, and subscribe to become part of our awesome San Antonio Spurs community. I thank you all for watching, and as always, go Spurs go. Ready,